Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at bullying. And honestly, it's way more serious than we often think. It really gets under kids' skin, affecting sleep, causing anxiety, hitting their self-esteem, even making them skip school. Well, it's pervasive. Okay, let's unpack this.
Absolutely. And, to figure out what actually works against it, you need solid evidence. So
Mm.
for this deep dive, we dug into a major systematic review. I mean, they started with over 2,000 article citations.
Wow.
Yeah, and then really narrowed it down, applying super strict criteria to land on just 26 core studies. This is looking at the best of the best research out there.
Okay, so 26 really solid studies. After filtering all that, what did the review find about the common ways schools try to tackle bullying? Things like specific lessons, these whole school programs, social skills groups, mentoring, that kind of stuff. This is where it gets really interesting,
It
right?
really does. So let's start with curriculum-based interventions, just, teaching kids about bullying in class.
Yeah.
Counterintuitively, maybe. These were largely ineffective.
Really, just teaching about it doesn't work.
Well, only 4 out of the 10 studies focused on curriculum showed any decrease in bullying. And even then, it was messy. 3 of those had inconsistent results. Or, get this, actually saw more bullying in some groups afterward.
More.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it suggests it's maybe less about not knowing about bullying and more about the social dynamics, the environment itself.
Okay, so knowledge alone isn't the answer. What about directly teaching kids how to interact better, like social skills groups?
That's a great question. For the older students, generally, no clear reduction in bullying didn't seem to move the needle much.
Hmm.
And this is fascinating. There was one study that stood out. It showed positive results, less aggression, less bullying.
Oh, okay.
But specifically for younger kids, third graders, I believe.
Ah, interesting. So maybe it helps when they're younger and still figuring out those social rules.
That's the implication, perhaps.
Yeah.
Their behaviors might be less ingrained, more open to that kind of direct training. Older kids
Hmm.
maybe need something broader.
Right, makes sense. So if just curriculum or just social skills on their own aren't the big winners, especially for older kids, where did the review find real success?
Okay, so if we connect this to the bigger picture, the multidisciplinary or whole school approaches, these were clearly the most effective.
Whole school, meaning everyone's involved.
Exactly. 7 out of the 10 studies in this category showed a definite decrease in bullying. And these aren't just like a single assembly or poster campaign. They treat bullying as a systemic issue. We're talking school-wide rules, proper teacher training, embedding it in the classroom curriculum, and having support like individual counseling available. It's about changing the whole school climate.
That sounds much more comprehensive.
And then briefly, there were a couple of other areas. Mentoring and having more social worker support both showed some promising results. Less bullying, fighting, truancy, even theft and drug use in one case.
That sounds pretty good too.
Yeah, but the catch is, each of those findings was based on just a single study. So while promising, it's harder to say for sure if it applies everywhere. Needs more research.
Got it. So, okay, bringing this back, what's the main takeaway here for you listening? It really seems like the success of those whole school programs hammers home that bullying isn't just, a couple of bad kids. It's more of a social thing, right?
Yeah.
Rooted in how the whole school community works or doesn't work.
Precisely. It's a sociocultural phenomenon within that school environment.
And it sounds like getting everyone, especially the school staff, truly committed is key. Because the review mentioned inconsistent follow-through could mess things up, right? Even with famous programs like Alias.
Absolutely crucial. Commitment and consistent implementation are everything. You can have a great program on paper, but if it's not applied consistently by the staff, the results can be all over the place, sometimes even negative, which really highlights why those simpler, single-focus interventions often fall short. They just don't tackle the whole complex picture. You can't tweak one small part and expect the whole system to shift.
Right. So the bottom line seems pretty clear then. If you want school programs against bullying to actually work, you generally need that comprehensive whole school strategy with real buy-in and commitment from staff. It's much more likely to succeed than just, say, adding a few lessons to the curriculum or running separate skills groups.
Exactly. And that leaves us with a really important thought, perhaps for you to ponder. Given that these effective whole school programs are complex, involving lots of moving parts and people, how can schools realistically make sure they're implemented consistently, adapted as needed, and sustained year after year to create that lasting change we need?